In the mid-1960s, John Lennon gave one of his extracted molars to his housekeeper for disposal.
Okay.
But that was just the beginning of the tooth's extremely odd journey. He then suggested she pass the tooth to her daughter, so, like, he gave it to her housekeeper, like, get rid of this because it's a fucking tooth. And she was just like, well, I might just hang on to it because it's a
fucking
John
trash
Lennon.
cans are right over there,
Yeah.
Lennon. What do you
Check your privilege, dog.
Yeah. Like you can't be bothered to get up out of your chair and throw it away yourself.
So she apparently held on to it. He then suggested she pass the tooth to her daughter, who was a big Beatles fan, and the artifact stayed in the family until November 2011, which honestly, like, yeah, it's a tooth, but it's John Lennon's tooth. Like, kind of cool.
Yeah.
Like, I'm kind of
That's pretty cool. I would think it would be really cool to cash in on at some point before now.
When 2011, when it was sold at auction for more than $30,000.
Jesus Christ, man.
So, yeah, they were right on that same thing. Probably got passed to someone else who was like, I don't listen to John. I don't know who that is.
Who the fuck is
Sell
this
thing?
This, I believe, is John Lennon's tooth. What do you give me for it?
$30,000, apparently.
Dude, you could go to Detroit right now, buy 10 houses for $30,000.
Exactly. The man who bought John Lennon's molar 2 years ago, Canadian dentist Michael Zuck, or Zook, Z-U-K?
I'm assuming it's probably pronounced Zuck.
I'm going to say Zuck.
Because that sounds right. Z-U-C-K?
Is seeking headlines again. He paid $30,000 for this tooth. Putting out a press release and launching a website indicating his intention to extract DNA from the tooth with the lofty goal of cloning the legendary musician.
Hell yeah,
you
dude.
on board with this?
This is
I am on board with this.
Yeah, I'm totally down with this.
Speaking to Channel 4's Dead Famous DNA, Dr. Zuck told presenter Mark Evans, quote, he could be looked at as my son. He would still be his exact duplicate, but, you know, hopefully keep him away from drugs and cigarettes, that kind of thing. He added, but, you know, guitar lessons wouldn't hurt anyone, right? It's like, yeah, that's exactly what your fucking game is.
Yeah, that's your game, old man. That's your retirement plan. So he's looking to do this in the right now.
Yeah,
probably,
he's been like, and this is a newer article, but this has been something he's been working on. Like, when that was auctioned, that's going back like 7 years.
Yeah.
So he's been working on this for like 4 or 5 years
just
now.
try to find the perfect Dr. Moreau's Island or whatever to go fucking raise that clone child on.
Referring to possible legal restrictions, Dr. Zuck added, quote, it depends where you do these things. If it can't be done in one country, you can do these things in another. Yeah. Which, like, love the attitude,
I won't be stopped, dude.
The dentist even suggested that he could clone Lennon multiple times.
Nice.
He said, well, if it works once, it's going to work again, right? He ends, it's always just like, am I right?
Yeah.
And everyone's like, yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
You're fucking crazy, but...
I'll watch it if it happens. I will see what happens when you make 4 John Lennons. They say John Lennon was a better drummer than Ringo Starr was.
That's a good point, actually.
Dude,
you make the mega Beatles with 4 John Lennons, but like exact duplicates.
Throw
like exact clones.
1 Yoko in the mix for him to fight over. See what happens, dude.
Jesus, if you thought the fucking breakup was bad before.
Oh boy.
Dr. Zuck bought the tooth, which he says is probably a wisdom tooth, after it was sold through Omega Auctions in Stockport, Greater Manchester in 2011. So I guess this was only 2011. Sorry, I thought this went back further than that.
Yeah.
At any rate. So at the time, he said he was buzzing after the purchase, adding that it would join his collection of dinosaur teeth, which I thought was kind of funny. But then he started looking at it, he was like, you know, and I was reading more like other articles about this.
Yeah.
He's sequencing John Lennon's DNA like as we speak.
Nice. Dude,
like he is actually pursuing this.
Does he perhaps look like a fat Colonel Sanders and own his own island?
No. I mean, I wish, but no. He looks like a fucking dentist. Like he looks like a regular fucking dentist who. I mean, this must have been his idea.
Yeah.
Unless he's just filthy rich. $30,000 is a lot for a tooth just to throw in a collection. So,
dude probably took his whole 401k and threw at it, and he was just like, you know what, I got different retirement plans now.
Which you could do, but there was, and I don't seem to have it in here, but there was this other ballsy part of this where he was like, now, like I'd raise him as my son probably, but he wouldn't be my son. He'd be John Lennon.
Yeah.
So I suppose that, like, the case could be made that after he turns 18, wouldn't he be the rightful heir to John Lennon's estate?
Oh, man, that raises all kinds of better questions.
At first I was like, dude, shut the fuck. But then I was like, wait a second.
Yeah.
If that is John Lennon, you're not half bullshitting right now. Like, you could easily go, like, make it. I mean, I say easily.
Yeah.
It's wishful thinking all the way around.
Future
but
John
I'm just
Lennon
like,
just goes back and takes the estate back from his family.
do we have anyone that knows the law on something like this? Can you write in or whatever? But just tell me, like, is there a case that could be made for that? Where, like, 18 years, say it happens tomorrow, he raises this kid.
Yeah.
Turns him into some form of what John Lennon used to be musically.
Yeah.
Which he'd be bigger than John Lennon ever was just by virtue of the fact that he was a fucking clone.
Yeah.
Which would be presumably the first cloned human.
Yeah.
Which is like, yeah, why wouldn't it be John Lennon?
Yeah,
that makes as much sense as anyone else. But can a case actually be made that, like, he would be the rightful heir to all of John Lennon's estate because he is John Lennon?
Well, I would think that it would come down to what the laws for cloning were like in the countries that owned the estates, and they would probably
right, but
say,
I'm saying
no.
if you could go, like, here's the process I took.
Yeah.
I sequenced his DNA. This is John Lennon.
Yeah.
I mean, it is John Lennon.
Check the fingerprints, dog.
It would be an exact clone, I assume. I mean, in a perfect world where this can actually happen, which, like, I guess it's conceivable that this could happen, but I mean, this guy obviously thinks it could happen. Could you make that case, and would that be the most balling shit ever? Like, just balling, son. Like you are a fucking multi-millionaire.
I'm giving most of my houses to my new dad, the dentist.
Yeah, I mean, he would ultimately, like, he wins,